as we keep growing older, so more and more Vata stage started, like for example, especially after 60, that is the third phase of life, which we also call as aging. In this phase of life, these channels start losing their flexibility and they started becoming brittle, especially these micro channels. And these micro channels are so small that you can't even notice these channels. So these channels start becoming brittle and non-flexible. So to keep their flexibility alive, in Ayurveda, there is a great recommendation of having snigdha ahara, that is the food that contains little bit of oil in it or ghee in it to keep these channels flexible. Not only this, there is another aspect to it also, like for example, we have seen like diseases, the old age diseases, especially this dementia, Parkinsonism and Alzheimer, fatigues, excessive fatigues. These are the common symptoms which we are feeling as we start growing old. So according to Ayurveda, these things happen when your pranavahastrotas, that is the channels which are responsible for providing your pranas to various parts of the body, or you can also understand it as respiratory system, which is responsible for the supply of oxygen to various parts of our brain. Like for example, our respiratory system, which is responsible to supply the oxygen for various parts of the brain. So it starts drying up. So I am not saying that trachea will dry up or bronchioles will dry up. When I am talking about drying up, I am talking about the micro level channels, very small, with which each and every cell get its nutrition. So as we start growing old, there is more and more Vata in our body, and because of aggravation of Vata, these channels, because Vata is responsible for dryness, in all kind of dryness in the body. So these channels start drying up. So to lubricate these channels, it is essential that your diet should contain little bit of fat. When I am saying fat, I am not saying you use big bowl of ghee, you start using. No, but just 2-3 drops of oil or 1 to 2 spoons of ghee, that is enough. That's also not daily, after alternate days. Oil, even 1-2 drops you can have in daily food, but ghee don't take so frequently, but once or twice a week it is good for your health. For example, even in hypertension we have seen what happens, that is arteriosclerosis that happen. That is, what is arteriosclerosis means? Hardening of the walls happen. That's why in hypertension a lot of precaution has been given so that people don't land into this arteriosclerosis, that means drying up of arteries. But if you focus on your diet, if you try to have diet according to Ayurveda, if you put yoga in your routine, then definitely you will not land into situations like hypertension or arteriosclerosis or atherosclerosis. But it is just, you need to make this a routine in your daily life. You need to be quite conscious about your food. And when I am saying fat, Ayurveda always more prefer plant fat, like the fat, little bit fat that we get from plant, and animal products. In animal products, Ayurveda recommends vegetarian, like butter, cheese, these kind of things. Definitely animal meat contains a lot of fat, which is very heavy to digest. So these kind of other sources of fat are there, like milk is one of the source, cheese is one of the source, butter is one of the source. But yes, if somebody has already into cardiac problem and his blood pressure is very high, then please avoid all these fat products, because if you are already into certain stage, then definitely you need to follow the allopathic protocol, whatever they have recommended before surgery or after surgery. But if you don't have this kind of situation, and if you don't want to land into this kind of situations, then definitely we can improve our lifestyle and diet according to Ayurveda, so that it will help us to live in a better way. At the same time, just by adding fat is not enough. You also need to do yoga. If you don't have any idea about yoga, how to do yoga, then please write to us. There is a very good opportunity of doing Isha Kriya, Pranayam, Upa Yoga. So whole of these yoga things, they are very beneficial for health. And if you are new to it, you please write down to us. We will guide you how you can do yoga and how you can start with. There is nothing difficult in it. At the same time, you can try meditation. Meditation is extremely needed in this world to make yourself calm and to have a good life. Because if you want to include Ayurveda and yoga in this life, then you need to try to have more and more out of it. And it is not like if you just take one thing of it and one day you do yoga and next day you are not doing, then it will not work like this.